cold wind tracing where the thrust sank deep. Faint black marks on the mountain steep. Silent turns under crystal clear, still waiting for the spear. without bite or strain. If the price of meaning is this live discord, let me be the Lord. Red Zone Thunderlord. When the last band rips the night in two, I will split the storm and cut past you. If tomorrow asks how your legend was ignored, let it ride, Thunderlord. Red Zone Thunderlord. When the engines fade and hills fall still, only scorched lines on the valley hill. They can pray safe shelter from the rain once poured, but the road wants Thunderlord. Cold wind whispering where the shockwave ran, faint bright scars on the racing span. Silent lanes under clouds restored, still echoing Thunderlord. Black been waiting like a silent throne. Thin white stripe is a sharpened bone. All our history coiled on this contract, signing a corner pact.
We shook hands on a brutal rule. No long trials, no let's keep it cool. No rematch written in a softer clause. Only steel and biting claws.
Side by side at the entry mark,
Engines howl while the sky goes dark. Every doubt that ever chained us back snaps on this final track.
guardrails tighten like a closing frame.
Every heartbeat calling out a name. If this world wants proof how kings react, let it face the pact.
Corner guillotine pack on the one when the brake lights flare. One clean cut through the hanging air. When the apex drops like a falling axe, we enforce the pact.
Corner guillotine pact. No slow verdict on a paper wall. Just a single beat to decide it all.
You can beg for mercy when the tires lose traction, but the blade's in action. You breathe hard at the outer edge, feel your nerves sliding off the ledge, calling instincts just to stay alive, but the pack says cut or dive.
I see lines in the shrinking space, hidden doors in the tightening trace. When the road says choose in a single breath, I pick speed or death.
Signpost blur in a savage spin.
Every meter tearing at your skin. If the crown is forged where the hearts contract,
Stamp it with the pact. Corner guillotine pack on the one when the brake lights flare. One clean cut through the hanging air. When the apex drops like a falling axe, we enforce the pact.
corner guillotine pact. No slow verdict on a paper wall. Just a single beat to decide it all.
You can beg for mercy when the tires lose traction, but the blade's in action. I don't want a life in a gentle lane, safe unseen, never facing pain. If the price of meaning is a sharp impact, let it be the pact. tracing where the blade came down.
Faint red scars on the mountain crown.
Silent turns under stars gone black.
Still whispering the past.
Night sky bleeding on the canyon wall. Two small names written way too small. Every rumor hanging over this land, waiting for a red hand.
You talk big in a sheltered crowd, safe and warm where the noise is loud. But when engines howl and the road runs thin, all the courage caves within.
Out here, nothing's gonna guard your pride. All that counts is the line you ride. Every heartbeat on this narrow span tells the truth about your plan. Guardrails watching like a hungry ring. Every second choosing who is king. If this world wants proof who really stands, let it see the hands. Rival red hand, I grip the wheel till the bones all burn. One bold strike and the odds all turn. When the last split second forces my command, I reach with a red hand. You fade back when the sparks go wide. I break through where your nerve just died. You can pray for mercy when the tires lose the land, but I hold with the red hand.
Headlights crossing like a clashing tide, side by side with nowhere left to hide. You draw close trying to steal my lane. I cut deeper through the strain.
Every corner is a deal we sign, stamped in smoke on a falling line. You keep hoping fate will take your side. I just tighten up my stride.
White stripes flicker like a battle drum. Every echo yelling, here they come. If the crown is forged where the brave demand, let it fit this hand.
Rival red hand, I grip the wheel till the bones all burn. One bold strike and the odds all turn. When the last split second forces my command, I reach with a red hand. You fade back when the sparks go wide. I break through where your nerve just died. You can pray for mercy when the tires lose the land, but I hold with a red hand. I don't want a life where I half commit, soft and slow so I never hit. If the price of meaning is this hard demand, let it stain my hand. Rival red hand, when the last spin rips the night in two, I will stake my name and cut past you. If tomorrow asks how your legend lost its stand, let it read the red hand. When the engines fade and hills fall still, only burning marks of Valley Hill. They can praise safe stories in a gentle land, but the road loves the red hand.
red prints on the avenue, silent lanes under all that open land,
still marked by a red. Steel cold skyline on a fading throne, empty rules carved in lifeless stone,
all their empire shaking on the wheel,
waiting for the seal. You hold titles from a dusty age, paper crowns on a rusted cage.
every order that you throw my way turns to ash along the bay. I was tempered in the breaking zone, taught to earn it on my own.
When the road decides who gets to rule, that's the only living school. Guardrails listen like a crowded court, every heartbeat filing a report.
If this world wants proof what kings reveal, let it see the seal.
Overrun Dominion seal. I write my name in the tire burn ground. One hard strike and you lose your crown. When the lanes compress and the weak hearts kneel, I press the seal.
Overrun Dominion seal. No quiet deaths, no inherited right. Only proof carved into the night.
You can preach old orders from a distant hill, but the road signs to will. Sirens echo from a safer tier, too far back to interfere. You wave badges at the roaring stream, but the stripper won't share your dream.
I see verdicts in the sparks we throw, every clash deciding where we go. When the last excuse peels off your shield,
Only road control is real.
white lines twist into a blazing brand, every meter forcing out a stand.
If the crown is forged where the engines kneel, stamp it with the seal. Overrun Dominion seal. I write my name in the tire burn ground. One hard strike and you lose your crown. When the lanes compress and the weak hearts kneel, I press the seal. Overrun Dominion seal.
No quiet deaths, no inherited right. Only proof carved into the night.
You can preach old orders from a distant hill, but the road signs to will. I don't want a life under borrowed rule, chained in place by a gentle fool.
If the price of meaning is this iron deal,
Let it be the seal. Overrun Dominion seal. When the last curve rips the dark in two,
I will hold the edge and cut past you.
if tomorrow asks how your kingdom lost its feel.
Let it reap the seed.
Overrun
cars on the avenue, silent lanes after all that steel, still glowing with the sea.
This world wants proof how storms survive. Let it feel the shock drive. Oh, Apex shock drive. I flip the code and the night turns white. One bright surge and I own the height. When the corner bites and the rules collide, I ride the shock drive. Shock drive. You hold back while I break the grid. Cut through fear, you forever hid. You can pray for gravity to choose your side. Control slipping out of time. You keep hoping maybe luck will land as you grip with trembling hands.
I see channels where the pulses flow, hidden paths that only voltage knows. When the world says stop,
When the road says no,
that's my cue to overload.
signal stutter in a jagged frame.
Every glitch calling out my name.
If the crown is forged where the charge arrives, stamp it with shock drive. Apex shock drive. I flip the code and the night turns white.
One bright surge and I own the height.
When the corner bites and the rules collide, I ride the shock drive. Shock drive.
You hold back while I break the grid. Cut through fear, you forever hid.
You can pray for gravity to choose your side. I rewrite it with shock drive.
I don't want a life in a dim low mode, fading slow on a harmless road.
If the price of meaning is this life beehive, let me burn shock drive. Apex shock drive. When the last spin tears the dark in two.
I will bend the force and cut past you.
If tomorrow asks how your legend took a dive, let it reach shock drive. Apex shock drive.
When the engines fade and hills fall still, only scorched lines on the valley hill.
They can pray safe comfort in a soft archive, but the road
burnt scars on the blackened sea.
Silent turns after all that drive, still charged with shock drive. Waiting by my hand, cold low cutting through the midnight land.
All this distance, all this twisted Texans with Ultimex.
You play safe with a half-pressed soul, hold back fire when it starts to roll.
Call it control when you lose the chase.
Watch me vanish into space.
I hear whispers in your shallow claim,
Talking big but never light the flame.
every time you flinch and choose not yet, you just feed my silhouette.
Countdown ticking in a narrow zone, every heartbeat carving into stone. If this world wants proof, who breaks the hex? Let it watch Ultimex. Nitro Ultimex.
One shot sign and the dark snaps wide. All restraints ripped off my stride.
When the last green flash hits the edge of the dash,
I ignite and clash.
you hold back while I punch straight through.
Every limit that surrounded you,
You can pray for a reason when the sparks connect.
but too late for Ultimate.
Radar creeping on the borderline, all your nerve leaking out of time.
You keep chanting we can live with less till you drown inside the stress.
I've been saving every failed embrace, every almost that you won't face. Pack them tight in this final cue till it detonates on you.
Warning symbols in a frantic dance.
Every flicker shout and take the chance.
If the crown is forged where the brave reflex, stamp it with Ultimates.
Nitro Ultimex.
One shot sign and the dark snaps wide. All restraints ripped off my stride.
When the last green flash hits the edge of the dash,
I ignite and clash.
you hold back while I punch straight through.
Every limit that surrounded you,
You can pray for a reason when the sparks connect, but too late for Ultimex. I don't want a life in a muted frame.
half-speed motion with a borrowed name.
If the price of meaning is this fierce apex, let it be Ultimex. Nitro Ultimex.
When the last bend tears the night in two, I will flip the world and cut past you.
If tomorrow asks how your legend lost context,
Let Ultimate.
Nitro Ultimex.
When the engines fade and hills fall still,
Only scorched lines on the valley hill.
they can praise cold caution in a
Calm
bright scars in a violent hue.
Silent lanes after all that complex.
Still pulsing with Ultimex. marks in a silver hue.
Silent turns under a watching go.
Still echoing.
チャットしました One as one
Cheers!
Tomorrow asks how your legend snapped forever. Let it read. Redline Sever. Redline Sever.
When the engines fade and streets fall still,
Only burning marks on the valley hill.
they can praise safe stories in a soft endeavor.
But the road keeps seven. red scars on the blackened sea. Silent lanes after all that pressure, still whispering sever. Gentle rail, soft and safe, so I'll never fail. If the price of meaning is this violent route, let me live and shout.
Corner war shout. When the last curve rips the night in two, I will hold the edge and cut past you. If tomorrow asks how your legend faded out, let it ride, war shout.
Corner war shout. When the engines fade and hills fall still, only burning marks on the valley hill. They can praise calm caution in a quiet bout, but the cliffs keep war shout.
Cool and sliding where the heat ran through, faint claw marks in a harsher hue.
Silent turns under stars burned out, still waiting for the war shout.
trying to force my lane. I cut sharper through the strain.
We trade inches at a breaking pace. No one blinking, locked in place.
Every heartbeat says this is it.
Either eyes are finally split. Signals dying in the rising roar.
Every doubt driven through the floor. If the crown is claimed when two hearts done,
Let it fall on Blitzrun.
rival Blitzrun. When the last banner rips the night in two, I will stake my name and cut past you.
If tomorrow asks how your legend came undone,
Let it read in Blitzrun.
rival Blitzrun. When the engines fade and hills fall still, only burning marks on the valley hill. They can paint this story as a harmless one, but the road screams Blitzrun.
Cool and tracing where the charge ran through. Faint bright scars in a harsher hue.
Silent lanes under a fading sun. Still wired for Blitzrun. Black sky hanging over broken stone. Empty lane like a sharpened throne. Two old names carved into this track, bound by a hidden pact.
We've crossed paths on 100 nights. Shared the smoke and the blinding lights. Every close call, every stolen win. Drove the claws a little in.
You were the storm on my bleeding flank. I was the ghost on your shining bank. All our grudges poured in gasoline, waiting for a single scene.
Guardrails listen like a jury line. the price of meaning is this full attack. Let it seal the path. Overrun, Nemesis, Pact.
When the last curve tears the night into, I will hold the edge and cut past you.
If tomorrow asks how your legend turned to black,
Let it read this pact.
overrun, Nemesis, Pact.
When the engines fade and hills fall still, only burning marks on the valley hill. They can tell this story as a noble act, but the road knows the pact.
Cold wind, crawling where the heat ran wide.
Faint scars, glowing ruthless in style.
Silent lane, under a sky turned black.
Still bound to the pact. Black sea pouring down the mountain spine. All the traffic locked in one design. Every heartbeat forced to fall in line till I cut the brine.
You ride the current like a faithful slave. Let it drag you to a quiet grave. Blame the flow for every loss you take. Never dare to bend or break. But I watch rivers on a storm-torn night. Seen them twist under different might. When the pull screams down, I turn my wheel. Slice upstream through what you feel.
Waves of metal crashing in a row. Every timid soul just lets it go.
If this world wants proof, there's another side. Let it meet the Riptide. Apex Riptide.
I cut against the rush you call fate. Turn back forces that you call too late. When the torrent roars that there's no way wide, I rise on the
Apex Riptide. You say I'm crazy, go against the stream, but I cut truth through your broken dream. You can beg the current, hope it will decide. I'll be the blade that rides the tide.
white lines slither like a restless snake. All your courage starts to slip and shake. You keep chanting, go with what is planned, till you drown in someone's hand.
I feel the pressure where the flow constricts. Hidden angles in the tangle mix. Every gap you think is suicide is my road on the underside.
Roaring traffic like a tidal wall. Every echo screaming you will fall.
If the crown is forged where the strong divide, let it rise from Riptide.
Apex Riptide. I cut against the rush you call fate. Turn back forces that you call too late. When the torrent roars that there's no way wide, I rise on the Apex Riptide.
You say I'm crazy, go against the stream,
But I cut truth through your broken dream.
you can beg the current, hope it will decide. I'll be the blade that rides the tide.
I don't want life in a single lane.
Dragged along by a borrowed chain. If the price of meaning is this wild ride, let me be the Riptide.